Yesterday, the SEC failed to convince a federal judge to let officials delve into Binance US's software. Let's discuss the regulatory issues at hand with Terrence Yang, Swan Bitcoin Managing Director. Terrence, how important is this? How key is Binance? Obviously a massive global market, but is their US business really that material?
Not anymore because of the SEC and threatened DOJ action against Binance. So Binance used to be a significant percentage of the US market share, and now it's almost all gone. You had guests earlier, and you guys reported earlier about the big drop in trading volume. And some of that is customers being afraid, but also some of that Binance US cleaning up its act and not wanting to continue to allegedly incur infractions with their fake volume and so forth.
How much of a problem, Terrence, is this drop in trading volumes for Bitcoin and for, crypto prices in general?
Sure, big problem short term, but medium term, meaning 1 year out or longer, Bitcoin will be fine. I personally don't see a lot of value in the other cryptocurrencies. I don't think they meet a big, urgent, unmet need. And I think a lot of them, the way they're sold and offered, do violate U.S. securities laws.
Gary Gensler, I'm sure Terrence would be happy with that answer you just gave. Of course, we're waiting for answers from Gary Gensler, particularly when it comes to a spot Bitcoin ETF. Can you give us your sense right now of the timeline, even if it does get approved? How far away are we realistically from when actually being launched?
Sure. My best guess is Q2 or Q3 of next year. I know that there's a lot of market sentiment. I think I read that 75% of folks that were experts that were surveyed think that a spot Bitcoin ETF will be approved before year end. I don't think that's going to happen. Why? Because you have to think about the difference between Bitcoin futures and spot Bitcoin. And one of the key differences is with spot Bitcoin, you have to custody the Bitcoin, make sure you don't lose it or get hacked. Whereas future,
it's interesting.
It's cash settle. Yeah.
Well, but the court in the Grayscale case, Terrence, said the SEC didn't do enough of a good enough job arguing that there was a substantial difference between futures and spot. But you're saying there is one.
There is one. Custody would be one. Another one would be, hey, look, things changed. And so I agree the SEC did not do a good job, right? Ripple had excellent lawyers from Davis Polk who said, look, 99% price correlation between Bitcoin futures and spot Bitcoin. What's the difference? We don't get it. And they were right. So I think the decision to remand and send the SEC back to the drawing board, so to speak, makes sense. But besides custody, the other difference is if you think about when the Grayscale court case was first heard by the Court of Appeals of DC, it was months before the SEC filed their lawsuits against both Binance and Coinbase, and before all these leaks about text messages by Binance executives talking about how all this is violating the law and so forth. So I think the SEC can continue to delay while they study, right, and take into account the Court of Appeals decision.
I want to ask about the new IRS rules or, confirmations in terms of how Bitcoin and crypto will be treated on your taxes. How do you think that clarity, it must be helpful, right?
It is helpful, absolutely. But for Bitcoin, it's always been pretty clear that Bitcoin is a virtual currency and therefore property and not a security under the IRS. So you can do things like sell and rebuy your Bitcoin immediately, which many people did in 2022 in the bear market to lock in a tax benefit, crystallize a loss, and reduce any and all income in any and all tax years, starting with the year that they sold and rebought their Bitcoin. WASO rules just don't apply. So that would be one.
Terrence, great talking to you. You always explain things so well, and we really appreciate your time. Terrence Yang, Swan Bitcoin Managing Director.